Yo, we're back, baby. Wade, man, it's great to see you, buddy. Almost forgot what you look like. I've been missing you, man. Football season and no Wade. I've been crying the blues. Life gets in the way sometimes, man. Planning a cross-country move. It's just, there you go.
Yeah, I know, man. I was actually wanted to kick myself yesterday. Man, we should have done one recording the last 2 weeks while I was out in California. We just had so much going on. I would have had to find the perfect spot.
No
it was just
worries.
going to be really tough to try to squeeze that out. Plus, just trying to edit everything and get things put out.
No doubt.
I needed a little break. We've been doing this for a minute, anyways. Baseball season was kind of a grind, so
yeah. Oh, dude, people have no clue. I get people coming through me out of the woodwork on X and messaging me about football stuff and all this stuff, and how come I don't do football and baseball at the same time and all that stuff. I'm like, when you've done the daily grind of baseball for literally 6 straight months, I mean, you got to have a little break in there, man. And heck, this is talking to me. I don't usually mess with betting on the weekends in baseball, but man, I just even 5 days a week. So I can't imagine what it's like capping it every day. It's got to be exhausting, even though you love it, but you just got to have that break.
Yeah, for sure, man. Those weekends are can be a drag, but we're back here with some football looks. We're each going to give out a college football bet and then an NFL pick here. So let's just jump right into it, man. Let's what would you find this for this weekend? Anything that stick out to you really like?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was kind of torn between two, but I'll give you the first one here. Actually kicks off soon. Rutgers money line over Washington, which is kind of surprising. I hate fading the Huskies just because I won with them big last week. They were good to me. They played a really good game last week against Northwestern. But, man, the spot is brutal for UW. I mean, this is their first road game of the year. You and I talk about this circadian rhythm stuff and the sleep and all that and mess up time zones. Okay, so they're flying from the West Coast all the way to Jersey, right? Because the Big Ten's all crazy now, including these West Coast teams. So, I mean, your first road game is bad enough. Well, it makes it worse. You're going through 3 time zones. So it's like, all right, this is going to be insane to these guys as far as their body clocks are concerned. To make matters worse, you're on a short week. They just played late Saturday night, and now you're having to travel on a short week to Rutgers. Rutgers will be really fired up for this game. This is the biggest game for Rutgers in, 10, 15 years since Ciano's first, time tenure at Rutgers. So really, it's just a spot play for me, man. I know UW probably has the better athletes, but I think Washington's body clock's going to be all off in this game. Rutgers crowd's going to be insanely jacked. Also love the fact of a little peek ahead here. So UW has, guess who? Michigan on deck. Look ahead spot if there ever was one. Are they really going to be jacked up to play Rutgers when they got a rematch last year's national title game? Nope. I don't think so, man. But Rutgers money line. Let's see what you can get right now. I think you can get it around 115. It's pretty close to a pick. Yeah, minus 115 right now at FanDuel. That's where I'm at, man. What do you think? Any thoughts?
No, I actually like that look too. Buddy and I were chatting about that game earlier. Since I already put out the in our article play today, I gave out the under 46.5 on this same game. I didn't want to. I guess double up on a game on a Friday night. But if I were to take a side, like I put in the article, I think I'd lean Rutgers money line. I think that travel is going to be way too much. I think the look ahead is a serious issue for Washington. I think they're definitely looking ahead. It's going to be a tough game, man. Both teams have pretty good offenses. They can move the ball, but also their defenses are really good. They don't really they're not explosive offenses, but they can move the ball. So I think without the explosive plays, it's going to be really tough for either one of them to score. I am expecting a game in the 20s, but I do think Rutgers has the home field advantage, the travel. It's just too much. So
yeah, I agree. Truly,
I love that look. Yeah, man. And then I'm going to go ahead and go with the other Washington team. Actually, I'm going to go with Washington State +8. I bought a little bit there. It's moved to minus 120 on ESPN is when I got the +8. I just think there's too many points for Washington State, who's averaged 38 points over their last 3 games, and they put up 70 in their first game, which it's hard to really calculate that one in because they didn't really play anybody. Boise State can absolutely run the ball. They obviously have one of the best running backs in the league. I do think both teams put up points, and with the high total in this game, I think the spread's just going to be too much. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that. I just think Washington State's a pretty well-oiled machine right now. I don't think either defense is really going to be up to snuff to stop them, but I do think they can score enough to keep this close.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I was actually played that at the Open. I think at plus 7.5 when it opened last Sunday night. Just didn't think it'd be that high. I was really expecting to be in more 4.5, 5.5 range. So when I was able to get over a touchdown, it kind of a no-brainer here with a good offense like the Cougs. I do respect Boise State. Got a small wager on them to win the Mountain West. I think they're a good team. I think they win here. I don't think they cover though. I think it's probably 3 or 4 point game. So yeah, I'm with you, man.
I agree. I wouldn't hate anybody to sprinkle on Washington State money line, but I'm not advising that.
Yeah, maybe a small sprinkle. I like to do that sometimes where I'll like maybe take 10% of my bet, put it on the money line. That way, if they don't win it outright, it's not a huge killer to you. You're still going to win 90% of your original amount. I like doing that.
Yeah, these bigger spreads, I don't typically do that a lot. I mean, sometimes I try to find those spots, but if you've got a game that's a high total, but the road dog is around a 3-point dog, those are ones that have some pretty good shots at covering money lines, and those are obviously always usually plus money. So those are the ones I usually try to target for dog money lines. But some of these bigger spread teams can pull these wins off, no doubt.
Especially in college football, as we know, anything can happen. It's crazy. I mean,
anything can happen. Well, let's move on to the NFL, man. We got a big weekend. I know last weekend we had quite a few upsets that I don't think a lot of people were expecting. What are you feeling about this weekend?
Yeah, this is something I don't typically do here, Wade. Went back to picking some sides here, which I said I'd never do. It's so funny in sports betting when you say you're not going to do something. Yeah, right. You end up changing your mind because something isn't working. You're like, all right, I'm gonna dig around. Well, this is a hold your noser too, man. I'm a big believer in approaching sports like you would an investment. I always want to buy low on teams, buy low, sell high. Perfect spot for this, but it is ugly, Wade. Don't laugh me out of the building here. I'm going Cincinnati Bengals, man, minus 4.5 over Carolina. I get it. That defense is atrocious. They just give up a ton of yards to Jaden Daniels, but they've read all week about how bad they suck. So this is the ultimate buy low point on Cincy. Is Cincy really going to go 0-4? I don't think so. The defense does scare me, but I think this is a gut play. I ain't gonna lie, it's a gut play. I feel like Burrow's finally going to throw for 4 touchdowns. The defense maybe puts it together. It's the Panthers. I mean, look at this look-ahead line with Cincy minus 7. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. They were embarrassed on Monday Night Football. The offense still looked good, though. The D is the problem. We really think Carolina can hang with these guys? Yeah, I know they finally got a win with Red Rifle. I love Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, but my goodness, man. I mean, is this Panthers team really going to hang with them? I don't see it. We're giving them a little too much credit, I think, just for beating a bad Raiders team. So really, it's just the ultimate buy low, sell high. So I'm going to sell Carolina off their win. Going to buy the Bengals off the embarrassing loss of Monday Night Football. Look for Joey B, which hopefully he don't show up with a crazy frosty blonde tips. He does look like Ellen DeGeneres now, like they said on X. What the heck, Joey B? What are you doing, man? Anyway, I don't know. Just a weird line. Don't play a lot of sides, but this one jumped out at me. Anytime I see a look-ahead line move 2-3 points, it's like got me interested.
Interesting enough, I had the same exact thought this morning. Yeah, both on the game and on Burrow. I thought, all right, this guy has to color his hair back, and he needs to show back up looking like he used to, because this is just, what are we doing? Is he like down in out in California just relaxing on vacation? What are we doing with those? That's like what a high school kid does, man.
No, he's a strange guy. He's a strange guy. He can play, but he's a strange dude.
Maybe he did it to just try to jazz things up a little bit. He knew they were going to probably struggle the first few weeks. Plus, you know what an interesting statistic is? I believe I saw that Joe Burrow in his first 2 weeks of his career, he's like 1-7 or something in games. So like he already knows they're probably not going to start off very hot.
Yeah, that's a great point. He's notoriously a slow starter. Just Cincy Cincy in
Yeah.
general is a slow starting team,
Yeah.
going all the way back to the Marvin Lewis era. Remember old Marv? I
Yeah.
mean, they were always 0-2, 0-3 to start the season. I don't think they're panicking. Carolina giving up 5.7 yards per play. I mean, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities for Burrow, for Chase, for finally Higgins, finally back healthy. Just feels like a Cincy spot to me, man.
Yeah,
How
I
about
think
you? What you got cooking?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I've heard in this game is I guess the Panthers have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
Who knew?
Not sure how that is. I'd have to really do some more digging to find out if that's true or not, but it sounds like they were one of the top 3 ranked offensive lines. So if the Bengals defense can't get home, it could be a long game, could be a closer game than most expect. I don't see how Burrow doesn't throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns, have another 300-plus pass yard game. They got to get that running game established, but I like it. I like it.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah,
I'm going to go with actually kind of a similar approach to what you're doing with the Bengals. I'm going with the Jaguars +7.
There you
here.
go. I love it. Somebody have the stones to do it. Yeah, and a boy.
I didn't love it at first, but it's actually my first play I gave out for this week. I don't know. It's tough, man. They kept their first 2 games close, and then they just got throttled last game by the Bills, which obviously the Bills are a very good team.
They're loaded.
But I think the Jaguars, they do have professionals on that roster. I do trust that they have a pretty good head coach. I think he is a very solid head coach. And I just trust Lawrence. I know he's looked bad. He's made some bad throws. We know he's solid. He's gonna get right. They actually have some pretty good pass catchers out there from what they've had in previous years. I do believe this is probably the strongest supporting staff he's had around him. And their defense has to get right. Their defense really struggled last game, but hey, Josh Allen's kind of killing everybody right now.
He is. Good point.
Yeah, I just think their defense can do enough to keep this game close. I'm not that high on Houston right now. They've actually had struggles on offense when they faced good defenses. When they played the Vikings and the Bears, they really didn't do too much. And I can kind of see the same thing happen with the Jags. I think their defense can get right here. I just don't see them going 0-4. They're both coming off really tough losses, so obviously it's a really tough game to kind of take the Jags. But I just think it's too much. Even if Houston does win, I think it's going to be more of a field goal. So.
Yeah, I like it, man. That was on my short list. I'll admit I didn't have the stones to play it just because they look that bad. But normally that would be where I would want to look. I was actually greedy. I was wanting a 7.5, and when it didn't get there, I just kind of passed. But yeah, it was on my list all week, so I'm totally with you. I don't know what's going on with Lawrence, man. It's just weird. He's got to turn around at some point, right? He's too gifted. I just don't know.
I believe so, and the fact that Houston allowed the Vikings and the Colts to both move the ball quite a bit, and I actually like Lawrence. Obviously, he's better than both of those quarterbacks. So if they can just figure that out, I don't see how they don't at least keep this within 7 points. And if I take the push, I'll take the push.
Yeah, and you want to talk about look ahead line here. I always keep track of this stuff because I'm a stat nerd, but Houston was only -4.5 on look ahead line. So obviously they were really thinking this would be a tighter game, but you got the big blowout on Monday Night Football. It looks so bad. Great buy low spot, right? Especially at the key number 7. Good line shopping on you, Mr. Wade. I love to see it. Top flight picks, folks. That's the place. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? You must hate money. If you don't sign up for top flight picks, you just must hate money. I mean, don't suffer through another losing football season. Wade's got you. Also, don't forget, MLB postseason starts on Tuesday. And yes, I will be back for maybe 1 or 2 shots a week at a prop here and there in MLB. I don't have as much time this time of year football going crazy on all of our bazillion websites, but got to make some time for MLB postseason, baby. Thoughts and prayers of my Atlanta Braves. Hopefully they actually get in. We shall see. What a mess with the hurricane messing up the schedule.
Dude, but this morning I woke up, I looked at the schedule. I see obviously they have 3 tough games against the Royals, who are also trying to get in, which isn't ideal. And then you're stuck with playing the Mets on a doubleheader, which is just absolutely brutal. You cannot finish your season like that. Mets have an easier 3 games here coming up, so the Braves are going to have to they're going to have to sweep the Royals, I think, here. So it all starts with Max Fried tonight, man.
Yeah. Money Max. I hope he's got it going. And what's going on with Sale? I've been kind of worried. I've heard some whispers that maybe he's not healthy. I don't know. Like I don't know. I've listened to some other respected podcasts, and they're like, Snit's, of course, not giving away anything, playing close to the vest as far as his health. But, we've worried all year long about Sale's health just because of his history with that elbow. I'm really worried because I'm holding a Cy Young ticket, which hopefully should still get there, even if he is hurt, just because he's dominated all year long. But, man, don't see if he's not 100%. I don't feel good about Atlanta's chances because he's obviously been their ace all year long.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. I know that he's probably gonna win the Cy Young, but I don't know if he's going to help them much in the postseason if they can get there. So
yeah.
We'll see, man. It's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna be looking at probably some sides in the playoffs.
Nice.
Props just never treat you well towards the last half of the.
Yes, dude, you're not lying. It's one reason why I usually quit picking MLB September 1st every year. It's just more and more unpredictable. You don't know how long some of these pitchers are going to go. We're both big pitcher guys when it comes to props. You don't know what teams have really melded in, and they're like, oh, we're only going to let this guy go 3 innings, and it screws you of any chance of. It's great for under, but it screws you for playing any kind of over Ks or innings pitched like you like to exploit, all that. So, yeah, I'm definitely way inside.
Yeah, last season it was right around September, but this season, man, the drop off really started happening like mid-August. So I'm gonna have to probably next year. I'm gonna be more focused on maybe try to fit in a money line and a Nerfy every day just to keep that research going. So when we get to that point in the season and you want to transition to just strictly like money line and game line stuff, you're kind of in the groove because I've been trying to jump back into that. It's just really hard to jump into money line research and all that when you haven't been doing it all year. So
totally agree. Yeah, that's the weird thing about baseball. You can take a vacation, go away for 3 or 4 days, and feel like you're behind because it just, I don't know. It's something about baseball's a real, you nailed it. You got to be in a groove. You got to be in a routine. That's how we've made money over the years. Both of us is just, sticking to the same routine. But yeah, hopefully we'll have some fun stuff this postseason. Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I think we will. And I appreciate everybody listening and watching today. As always, you guys can get free bet articles at eatwatchbet.com or bettersinsider.com. And now there's the other website, hellorookie.com.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Wade's on all three, guys. Wade's on all three. Hey, 1, sign up for his service for free 7 days. Still doing that. But 2, if you want to see what kind of his process is, explaining his reason behind his picks, stuff like that, check out any of those free websites. He's got free picks up there all the time. Usually 3 or 4 days a week, you've got something up on one of those sites. So jump on the free plays. You'll cash on those. He did very well last night, Thursday Night Football. Consistent profits every day. Give him a shot. You will not be disappointed. Save yourself all those hours and hours of work crunching numbers too. Hire a guy like Wade for a cheap price a month, and you get winners every day in your Discord there. So
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's always here to help people out. Anybody has any questions, you can hit us both on X. Appreciate you guys' time as always. We'll definitely be back next week, hopefully maybe Monday with a quick Monday Night Football pick if either one of us have some action on that game. So we'll see, and appreciate you guys, and let's have a blessed weekend.
Let's do it. Let's cash them. Boom.
See you guys.